What up, bitches? It's a misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant. Today I want to talk about a weak-ass SJW known as Joss Whedon. A lot of you might have heard of him if you're a fan of comics and sci-fi shit. Joss Whedon, most notably, what I knew him from was growing up with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show. I loved that show growing up, and you know, I have a lot of memories attached to that shit. The one with Sarah Michelle Gellar, I know there was a movie with Christy Swanson, that was the original thing it spawned from, but I was more in tune with the Buffy show, okay? This guy, why I'm pissed off at him, not only because he's an SJW, but he's going at the Punisher now. And let me get the article up. And this just came onto my radar this morning. Joss Whedon shows what he thinks about the Punisher, okay? And, oh, wait, before I do that, let me get my man. First of all, I'm representing right here. Frank Castle, the Punisher. Boom. Let me get Frank Castle himself. Let me get the man. Up. There we go. There's my boy. Frank Castle himself. The motherfucking Punisher. Right here. So he got some shit to say. Alright? So let's go down. Okay, so let's start here. The Punisher is clearly always going to be a character that people are going to take issue with to a certain extent. As we have seen from the work of Garth Ennis, the Punisher is really a character that works best when he's not a part of an overall comic book universe, despite the fact that obviously he debuted right smack in the middle of the original Clone Saga in the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, that was his first appearance that he's talking about. The problem is that, as created by Jerry Conway, the Punisher was a decent adversary for Spider-Man, but in the context of Spider-Man's world, the Punisher really only works as an adversary. You know, someone that Spider-Man might be forced to team up with in a pinch, but otherwise will hunt down just the same as any other murderer that Spider-Man comes across. The issue, of course, is that the Punisher is so awesome that fans wanted more and more of him, and he became basically an outright superhero. Just a superhero who still kills hundreds and hundreds of people. Alright? Which is true. Look. He debuted as adversary, and there's times where, because Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, don't be mad, Frank, but Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, but he will still go after Punisher because he knows that Punisher, he kills people, he crosses that line, okay? At times Punisher works with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man tells him, like, no, you're not killing anybody. If we're going after these people, you're not killing anybody, or you're using rubber bullets or some shit like that. Okay? Here's this fucking Soyboy shit. This is the basic position that Joss Whedon took years ago when he said a rather popular quote. Here's why I'm not running Marvel. If I was, I would kill the Punisher. I don't believe in what he does. The Punisher just shoots up places, and if you're telling me he's never hit an innocent, then I'm telling you that's fascist crap. Okay, Um, that's where I take umbrage with this dude. More or less, this the rest of this article shows that he was doing a run on that book, The Runaways, and what happened is the Runaways were doing a deal working with the kingpin, Wilson Fisk, who's an obvious criminal, and that's what Wilson Fisk is good at. He's good at manipulation, getting what he wants. He don't have any superpowers. He's a big, muscular dude. He looks fat, but it's all muscle with him. But he's good at getting what he wants. He's basically like the head of, I guess you could say, like the mob or the mafia, or in Marvel's universe you have the Magia, but that's controlled by Silvermane, Alfredo Silfredi, I believe his last name is. But the Kingpin is just a dominating character when it comes to crime. Okay. So basically, the kids were doing a deal with Wilson Fisk, and the Punisher, you can see, is outside. He's in the crosshairs, right? He's using the crosshairs. He shoots a missile at the building. The Runaways get out, and look, basically, there's the Punisher aiming at the kids, right? Because in his mind, that's why I love the Punisher. See, people like Joss Whedon, obviously, I mean, this guy, he understands Marvel, but he don't understand characters. He don't understand certain characters, because the Punisher represents our dark side. Once we go cold, you know, we see things black, white, good, evil, innocent, guilty. The Punisher acquired so much loss in his life that, especially with his family, that he went out on a killing spree, a vigilante killing spree, vowing that no innocent person would ever die again, or be hurt, I should say, at the hands of criminals. So he goes around killing rapists, child molesters, other murderers, shit like that don't get caught by the law. So that's why he resonated with so many people. But for this fucking cuck to sit here and say, I would kill him off because I don't believe it. You know what this is. This is pure, you know, far leftist bullshit. He wants to show that he's anti-gun. It's ridiculous. Mind you, if someone was threatening Joss Whedon's life, he'd be happy if someone came and shot that person that was trying to take his life. All right, so let's go to page 2. So, and by the way, look at this cover. Doesn't it look like she's wearing one of them fucking stupid ass Hillary Clinton vagina hats? The pussy hats? Yeah, so essentially what happens is Punisher runs into the kids or whatever, knowing that they made a deal. One of them punches him in the gut, and you know, I don't know what this kid, the pussy hat chick's power is. I don't really follow Runaways like that. And she basically says, I'm sorry if he's bleeding internally. I hope he's not. But I'm not wasting my time wasting a healing spell on the guy who pointed a gun at us. Can you do an I'm sorry spell? I don't want to get too near him. It's not the staff of Hallmark. This is ridiculous. He's fucking stupid. Let me tell you something. This cuck, Joss Whedon. Let me tell you about him. See, this is my problem with a lot of these SJWs. I keep telling you that they sit around and they're preaching from a moral high ground. Oh, look, that can't go. And he had his day with this shitty Runaways comic. I really didn't even want to show you this, but I want to show you how weak this guy is. His point, the point of the Punisher, like I just stated, he goes after bad guys. From Marvel's point of view, he sells. So why would you get rid of a character that people love? You know, if it's not a good storyline and it's not going to sell, don't do it. The point of Marvel Comics is to make money. Again, I know a lot of people say, well, that's fucked up. That's what they do. They sell fucking comics, okay? Punisher is a highly successful comic book, all right? Why I say don't trust these guys is look at this clown right here. This guy, he puts this shit out there, and he's a hypocrite. Look at this article. Joss Whedon is a hypocrite preaching feminist ideals. Ex-wife K. Cole says. Okay, so I'll leave this here for you to read. But this dude runs around. The whole crux of this article is basically how this dude, while he was doing Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all this shit, he told his wife, well, I grew up around lots of women, so I'm a feminist and this and that. Then later on, she exposed that he was actually, cheating on her with all these women, and then he tries to say, well, they were aggressive and this and that. This is why I tell you, let me get back so you can see my ugly face here. This is why I tell you, when these guys preach all this bullshit, how they're so pro-Me Too, they're so anti-gun, they're so this, and you should be too. I say, fuck you. You're just you're projecting like a common SJW. That's all you are to me. And by the way, I know Joss Whedon now is doing a Buffy reboot where Buffy now all of a sudden is a black chick. Let me tell you something. He's got enough problems with that because even SJWs are mad at him. His own fellow far leftists like Anita Sarkeesian is coming at him. They're coming at him. Oh no, you can't do this. So again, this is a commonplace thing with them. The left eats its own. So you got enough problems as it is. All right, stay away from fucking Punisher. If you don't understand the character, just don't write him. That's it. Don't sit here and put in your stupid far left bullshit to try and alienate the fan base. It's not gonna work. This is why Marvel Comics don't sell. And actually a good story would be if Punisher shot someone that's innocent. See, obviously Joss Whedon knows nothing about the Punisher because usually when the Punisher goes in to kill people, if he's using guns, he's usually going into some fucking abandoned crack house, some fucking horror house. He's on some dark alley. He's not gonna go, like, if he's gonna kill someone in broad daylight and there's a crowd of people standing there, he knows he's not gonna go around and take a fucking Uzi and shoot up the crowd where he could hit innocent people. No, that's not in his mindset. He will go up to him, he'll find the person, he'll most likely gut them right in front of people because he don't give a fuck, but he's not gonna hurt innocent people. This was briefly discussed in the Daredevil Season 2 Netflix series, which my man debuted in. When he was in the hospital hunting down, I forget the dude's name, but Karen was in there, Karen Page, and he had the shotgun and he was shooting. Later, when he was questioned about it by, I think it was Karen. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was either Karen or I'm not sure if it was Daredevil. I forget, but check that out. That's a fucking insane series, and Punisher series, by the way. Can't wait for Season 2. But when whichever character said, well, you were in the hospital and you were shooting and you didn't care who you shot, he goes, no, I was careful with my shots. I knew exactly what I was doing and I knew who I was aiming for. He knows. He's cognizant. Obviously, you're not Joss Whedon. You're a soy boy, and I hope no one supports your fucking new Buffy the Vampire Slayer shit. I hope no one supports you anymore, period. You're a fucking hypocrite. And that's all I gotta say. Frank, you got anything to say?
Yeah, fuck you, Josh. If I find you, I blast you myself.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This is a real man right here. All right, and that's it. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe. Share my shit. That's all I gotta say. Peace, bitches.